Hey, kinfolk, welcome to Keeping It Neat Live. I am Derek, Executive Bourbon Steward.
I'm Nick, Certified Bartender.
And we have a stranger that's with us tonight that supposedly has some kind of a status that she got that...
Supposedly.
She only got
I'm
98.
Becca. I'm a certified executive bourbon steward, and I almost beat him on the test.
Almost beat me on the test with a 98. She almost got it, but I had 100, so sorry.
I had to blow one, so I could save your precious ego.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Nick, what do you got for us this week, buddy?
I am ready to dig into one of my all-time favorites, all of these Maker Marks.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be a good night. We've got a couple of different Makers Marks going tonight. We're waiting for our people to come on right now. We got, Rob. Rob is on. Hey, Rob. How you doing?
Hello.
We got this. We don't have Sadie tonight, everyone. Sadie bailed on us. She said she wanted a week off, so a week off is tough.
That's all right. That's what we give her vacation time for.
Yeah, that's right. She's using one of her vacation days right now. Hope she appreciates that. So she actually went back to work this week. So with the work week, we gave her the day off because she needs to get, after this 2 months of doing nothing, getting back into the swing of things. So
yeah,
we're kind of like that. We're good bosses, really don't work for us.
We are.
Really do. But
we're here to please our employees.
And if you haven't noticed yet, even though the state has opened up, Nick still hasn't got a haircut, and we're going to discuss that in a minute, right when we get back. Hey, and here he is, and he's ready with his...
Let's get ready to rumble!
I've been waiting, dying to do that.
I am so excited. I finally got my gold mic.
He's got his mic that's not connected to anything. It's just he's ready. He'll be ready in a little while. We'll be back in the studio by the time he's ready.
This was step one. I'll get there.
Baby steps, buddy. Baby steps. We're waiting baby steps. That's all.
Yeah.
Shane Adams is here. Hey, Shane, what's up, buddy? At least he's got hair. Yep, unlike us, I know, bud. Right? That's the truth.
Dude, the locks, the flowing. Wonderful.
The flowing locks.
I think you're just jealous at this point.
Yeah, it's true. At least he's got the hair, Shane. You're right. You're right, buddy.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a cut since, I want to say, the end of February at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
It's worse for me.
Aren't you due soon?
I don't know when I'm going.
I don't know. I don't know. I just cut my hair today, so I'm all set. I'm good. Mm-hmm. My self-bothering.
But we're not here to talk about haircuts. What are we here for?
We are here tonight for Bourbon 101. That's what we're here for tonight, folks. We are here to do some Maker's Mark. We've got the regular Maker's Mark tonight. Let me bring up those. We have the generic Maker's Mark, your entry level. We have the Maker's Mark 46. This is Nick's preferred Maker's Mark. I mean, he loves this one. Yep. And we also, to finish out the night, we brought in the Makers Mark Cask Strength tonight. This one's coming in at 110.15 proof, I believe, or something like that. What is it? 110.3. So that one's coming in a little hot. So
this is coming in at that 50 proof we were talking about.
Oh, yeah, it's coming in at 55.15, sir. 55.15 proofs. Yeah, it's up there. Running a little hot. Oh, Sadie's in. Hey, Sadie.
You gotta look and read what Chris wrote.
My buddy Chris put up a good comment again.
Eric giving Nick a gold mic is the equivalent. Let's pull it up. Let's see.
Yeah, pull it up for everyone.
Derek giving Nick the mic is the equivalent of when your big brother gives you the controller that's not
connected to the N64.
Oh, that's perfect. So true. Yeah, he showed it. I was like, "Do you have the mic this week?" And he's like, "No, I got it." And there it is. You missed it. I wish we could have had it. If that would have been great on tape stuff, but that would have been beautiful if he would have seen him smashing it off the table and everything.
This thing's nice. This thing's legit.
It is legit. It is.
I can't wait for it to just be here all the time.
Yeah, well,
like too close.
That's a legit one right there, buddy. That's like professional. I know you guys never use that on your podcast, huh?
No, because we were usually in the car using the hand mic, and so that was just that was too much.
What's this? Let's start a show, keeping it messy, where we do dirty martinis and different vodkas. That's something to do.
That's so him and my buddy, because my buddy Alex sat there and said, "Chris, you're a funny guy. We should get together." So they're going back and forth.
Oh, I gotcha. All right, Alex. There's Alex here. Chris, you're a funny guy. We should get together. I like it. All right. So you got Alex in there. You got Chris. All right. You guys are in for the drawing later on.
The drawing? Tell us more, Derek.
Tell you more about I will tell you more about the drawing. And there's more. So for tonight, for our drawing, it's going to be the same rules it always is. All what you have to do is comment on tonight's live. You make a comment either on YouTube, Facebook. What else do we got going on? Twitter. If I see it on Twitter, you'll be in on it. It pops up over here. So you're entered into the drawing. And tonight we are giving away for the main drawing, we have a bottle, 375 milliliter of the Cask Strength Makers Mark. So you'll be getting a bottle of that. If you do come in for the main drawing, that'll be our first one we do. For our runner-ups, we'll have 2 runner-up prizes. That'll be a little nip bottle of the regular Makers Mark and a sampler of the Makers Mark 46 with the Keeping It Neat logo on there. So we'll have that going. Darren, hello, sir. He's in.
Hey, Darren. Hey, Paul.
Gives him some Cask Strength.
Good prizes again. And like I mentioned in my live the other day, you're going to need Makers or Makers 46 or the Cask Strength, whichever one you prefer. You're going to need a bottle for the next 2 weeks for some things, so stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned for it because it's going to be playing a heavy role in the next couple of weeks. We've got that. We've got some stuff going on, but the basic Makers Mark, if that's all you have, that'll work. That'll work with everything we have planned. So if that's what you got, then please enjoy sipping along with us. We've poured our drinks out right here. We're just going to be discussing. Tonight is Bourbon 101. So basically what we wanted to do tonight was break down, because a lot of the viewers have been asking questions in regards to, what makes the bourbon, and a whole bunch of different stuff, which is the beginner stuff that everybody should know. And, that's what we'll do tonight. So with the very entry basic level is what makes a bourbon a bourbon. So guess what I did, folks? I whipped up a little screen for us, but I got to take Paul off there because we don't want him to show up there on there. So Paul, just one bottle tonight, buddy.
Getting greedy over there.
I know. Just one, 2. How many bottles do you want me to give you?
Jeez. No, just little ones.
No, we do have the little ones. So you get two little bottles if you come on runner-up. But anyway, so let's go to this right here. So what makes a bourbon a bourbon? To be considered a bourbon, number one, it has to be made in the United States. So the USA, it has to be made. The mash bill has to be at least minimum of 51% corn in there. It can't be any lower than that. It has to be at least 51% corn in the mash bill. It has to be distilled to 160 proof or below. Can't go any higher than 160 proof when they initial distilling. Has to be put into a new charred oak container.
Can I jump in there?
You can.
A lot of people think that it has to be an American oak container.
White oak.
But it does not need to be American white
oak.
Nope,
just has to be a new charred oak. That's all. It can be any kind of oak. It just has to be a new charred oak vessel itself. Now, the container itself, that's the other thing that everyone thinks it has to go into a barrel. Nope. Guess what? As long as it goes into new charred oak, could be a charred oak pail that's 1 gallon, it would still be considered bourbon if they poured it in that and then put it into a bottle. Of course, it wouldn't have any aging on it, and it would be completely clear and only been in a container for all of 30 seconds before they did it. But as long as it goes into new charred oak. Number 5, it has to be put into a container at no more than 125 proof. Now, a lot of distillers have the entry-level proofs that they like to put their bourbon into the barrels at, and they vary. They go all over the place. Some put them in at 90, 90 plus. Others do 115, but it can't be any higher than 125. It depends on what they have. They have it dialed in for how it turns out all the time for them. And the only other thing that can be added to a bourbon is water, nothing else. No coloring, no additives, no flavorings, just water, and that's only used to either proof it down. That's the only thing it's done that they do with the water, is just to bring it down to the proof that they want. So that's it. That's the basics of the bourbon. That's what makes a bourbon a bourbon. It was also passed into law in 1964, for those that would care about that, by Congress, and that's officially recognized, and that is part of it to be considered a bourbon by law. That's the 6 parts that it needs. So anything else you want to add there, lady?
Not to that, but I totally need to clarify what Paul said.
Oh,
It was
Paul
just
said-
one bottle. He's like, he means for the whole week, but this week and next week, which I think is hilarious. He might need to pick up like 3.
Oh, jeez. All right, we got Tracy Roll.
Tracy?
Tracy Roll. We got Jody from Bourbon Bounties in. Hey, Jody, how you doing?
I don't see Tracy's name.
It's here.
Okay.
Right there.
So,
It's on-
Aaron Lebrecq asked you a question. What's it considered if it goes over 125 proof?
it can't go into the barrel at over 125 proof. For whatever reason, that's just part of the law. It has to go in at 125 or below. The thing is that once it goes into the barrel, sometimes it goes up the proof, sometimes the proof goes down. It all depends on the conditions in the rick house where it's stored, the heat, the cold, how much it's going back, the amount of actual evaporation that's going on, water versus alcohol remaining. So stuff like that goes over into the proof. Why they chose 125, I don't, but they said that is the proof because I think it was a matter of that the alcohol itself was too much when they were doing it, so they came up with that amount was 125. I really don't. I'll try to find out more information for the next time we do the show, and I'll get that answer to you on that. So Karen, did you get Karen in?
Yes.
Karen's in. Okay. Tracy, Paul, Jody.
Chris just asked you a follow-up question. It's just whiskey at that point, right? Or is it moonshine?
It's whiskey. When it comes out, when it goes into those categories, it's considered a whiskey when it comes out. As long as it meets those criteria, it's at 51% corn, stuff like that. Now, when you're doing a moonshine has its own thing. It's not even a category, really. There are no rules to moonshine.
But when it comes out,
There are no rules to moonshine. Put that on someone's grave.
to the barrel.
It's called White Dog. When it comes out of, it's a White Dog, but yeah. It's still a whiskey. It's not technically moonshine, really. That they don't call it moonshine. It's called the White Dog whiskey, is what they call it. So when it comes out, that's what it is.
Or White Lightning.
Gotcha.
What do we got from Jody? Says you'll rarely find a bourbon over 130 proof, but you will find them in the high 120s. Yep. So yeah, that's when they're done with it. You know, it's like I said, sometimes it'll go up the proofing after 125 on its own. It'll do it naturally. You won't even have to do anything with it.
Gotcha.
So again, breaking down the basics of the bourbon, what we're doing, the other thing too is, we're doing the tasting. We're going to be doing the nosing. We're going to be doing a little bit of, we're going to be doing the palate and the finish. We're going to go through everything there, the basics, like how we learned. Another question a lot of people ask is, does a glass matter? And it really does. The glass really does matter. We use all the time. You see Nick uses them. I have them. We use the Glencairn glasses. The reason why we use it is for the shape of it. It actually directs everything up. It allows for evaporation inside the bottom bell here, and it channels it all straight up to your nose. When you're using a wider glass, like a rocks glass or something like that, it allows everything to disperse. So you're really not getting a really good nosing. This is directing all the scents directly up into that small area where you can get it. So a glass really does matter, but if you don't have the glass, you can do nosings with a regular rocks glass if that's all you got. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's a bazillion glasses out there right now too. Me and Nick, we actually did a show on glasses, on the different glassware that there's available for when you're doing scenting and whatnot. I'll put the link up above for our old episode with that'll be there. So if you want to see that, we've got
And when you go to a bar though, like Nick, at your bar, you don't have the Glencairn glasses, so usually you're going to get like a rocks glass, right?
You're probably going to get it in the rocks glass, yeah. Sometimes we have a smaller version of a snifter that I'd put it into. It's more personal preference, I guess. So, yeah.
21090 Brewing.
21090.
Yep. Hey guys, what's going on? We got 21090 Brewing with us tonight. Got a lot.
Chris came out with something fun there.
Oh, what's it Chris got? This one's skipping Makers
No.
Bourbon. No.
The one above that.
Boop. FYI, from my own reading on bourbon, I could be wrong, but I believe the 125 comes from back to the Bond Act. It created a standard in the industry when people were just throwing crap in barrel and calling it bourbon. a lot of that did have to do with the barrel and bond. There's a lot that goes on with that. That was a government basically controlled warehouse, rick house on the distillery site. There was actually a U.S. agent that was assigned to every distillery had one. He had the only keys to the building. No one was allowed in after he locked the place up. That's the whole big story behind the Fitzgerald bourbon. Was he was actually a U.S. Agent there for the Bond Act, and he used to go in after the hours, open the rick house up, and then go steal bourbon. Basically, is what he did as an agent. So that's a little backstory on that with the Fitzgerald, which is kind of cool. So let's see what else we got here. Bourbon Bounty, my tombstone. He found no bad bourbon. There were only some he found to be a bit better than others. Yeah, that's true. Although I don't know if there are a lot of, we've had some bad bourbons. Not bad, I guess.
Yeah,
some less than quality bourbons. How about that? They need a little bit something extra, but.
Yep.
All right, so you ready to get into this, buddy? Are you ready to whiskey?
Ready and able.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, I can actually do the touch here now.
Wow. All right. So this is just the regular Makers, everyone.
The regular Makers Mark. That's what we're starting off with. The other thing, too, is, getting into it, here's the whole thing. One thing we learned is, what would they say down there when we were in Kentucky about the color?
He said color doesn't matter.
Color doesn't matter.
He said it's just a million different synonyms for the color yellow.
Yep. A million different synonyms for the color. You got Danny Tweedy in there?
Yep.
Okay. Brian Ferrari.
Yeah.
Brian texted Sarah too earlier.
Yep. I got that one.
We got Brian this week. Sorry, Brian. We got you this week, buddy.
So you were saying about the color, it doesn't matter, and you had different shades, right?
Really, the color does have something to say about the bourbon that you're drinking. Usually the darker the color, for the most part, means it's been in a barrel longer. The lighter the color, the less amount of time it's had on it. That can be true for a lot of things, but again, weather conditions, at the time can have a lot to do with the color of the bourbon also. If it was a lot hotter and a lot colder, depending on the expansion and the contraction of the whiskey going into the wood and out of the wood, that has a lot more to do with it. Like, out in Texas where it's really hot, where they do make bourbon, they don't do a lot of aging just because that they're going to get so much of the tannins out of there because it's so hot. That expansion, that liquid's going into the wood, and then it never really comes back out or gets a chance to really come back out because it doesn't really get that cool. So it's a lot hotter in Texas. So it's a lot shorter time, and they have a lot more evaporation from their barrels too. So they really don't age them that long before they barrel them. That's one of the things I did learn about that. Oh, Makers Mark Bourbon Select.
So we learned about the color, but we also, you'll see us quite regularly, we kind of swirl it around the glass.
Yep.
And we're looking at the
legs.
The legs.
When we say legs, you can tell, it's how the whiskey is running down the glass. Usually you can tell if it's a little bit oilier or if it's a little more on the watery side by, I've used the word before, you've heard me, Nick loves it, viscosity. The viscosity of it. So
Nice.
if it's running down the side of the glass and it's running very fast, it's a lot thinner of a whiskey. It's not as oily. It's when you look at it and you see it and it's going really, really slow. You see one of those drips and it's moving at a really slow pace. It's a little bit thicker. It's a little bit heavier. That just means it has more oils in it. That's all it is, versus the lighter one. But it can have something to do with the flavor, and that's more on your palate on how it's going to be coating your tongue.
So getting into the we good to get into the nosings?
Yeah, let's get into the nose on it, buddy.
All right, so I'm getting like a toasted apple and a little bit of a leather in there as well.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm getting the fruit note in there. I would say.
And that's it, folks. Take care. I'll see you later.
Great job, Nick. I got to say, I got to give Nick a lot of props. He's been crushing it the last couple of weeks. He's been crushing it with his nosings, his tastings, the palate, everything. He's been nailing a lot of the notes. I don't know. I think he's doing a lot of studying on the side. I don't know.
I've actually gone in blinder than I normally do.
I know you do. Maybe that's the way we got to do it from now on. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we always, we'll spin it around like that. What that's doing, that's allowing for some more evaporation. It's getting air into the whiskey, also into the bourbon. So you're getting you're getting the bouquet. The bouquet is coming up out of there. You're getting a little bit more of the aromas.
There's actually a proper way to smell your whiskey.
There is a proper way to smell your whiskey, and you're right. And that's part of Bourbon 101.
It is.
Would you like to explain it?
So usually when you do your scenting and you're smelling it, you're supposed to keep your mouth open a slight bit as you're breathing in. So when you breathe in, it goes also over your tongue and your palate, so that way you get a richer experience as you're breathing in.
So I just tried that. So I kept my mouth just slightly open and opened up. It actually, you're right. It kind of completely comes in a new wave. And I was getting corn at first, like some corn in there, and then I actually just got like a butter whiff too, like a buttered corn.
Oh,
so I was like,
broadcast says expired. When is it expired?
Are you guys getting anything in addition to mine? People sipping at home? Are you getting anything?
I'm getting a little bit of the sweeter noses in there. I'm getting some of the baking spice. That I'm getting like a caramel. I'm getting a caramel on the nose. Getting a slight oak in there.
Oh yeah. You thought slight oak?
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty prominent.
And the thing is too is when you're nosing the stuff. Sorry.
There's like a nuttiness. There's totally a nuttiness in there. Or maybe not. I don't know if it's nuttiness or toffee. Those kind of like go near each other. So.
Yep.
I get a nuttiness, and I also get a maltiness.
So this is I don't have.
Oh, that's
going along with the Heritage BSB. I'm always
Eric Connors.
Oh, is that Connors? Okay.
Yeah.
Eric Connors.
Got him.
And then
Eric, go give us permission.
Yeah, if anybody who's new to this, up at the top, right above where you're watching us live right now on Facebook, just go to the StreamYard permissions, click on it, and just go through those, and it'll give you permissions for StreamYard to show your name in our stream so we can see who's actually commenting and stuff like that. It just makes it easier for us, really, when we're doing these. Oh, geez, Brian Ferrari's getting drunk. Slow down, buddy. We got a long show ahead of us. We got a lot to go.
All right, Nick, you ready?
You ready to go?
I'm ready.
Wait. Banana Laffy Taffy.
Oh, God, banana Laffy Taffy.
It's so there.
There's no banana.
It is, because Laffy Taffy has that plasticky kind of. But it's like a little banana with a little plasticky sort of banana Laffy Taffy.
The other thing too is now
I'll one up you.
Oh,
a green apple Laffy Taffy.
Oh.
In reality, there is no wrong scent that you could be getting out of your whiskey or bourbon.
Paul puts Becca is bananas.
Becca is bananas. Yeah, Paul has heard some of Becca's descriptions on what she's getting out of there, so he knows.
It's a scientific fact that women have better sense of smell than men. So I'm sorry you guys can't smell that.
I beg to differ. When we were in Kentucky and we had to find the 3 cents, and you could only get one of them, but that's okay.
I did.
All right, I'm gonna take a sip now. I'm going in for full flavor. Oh wait, do you want to explain that? No, you both went full sip.
No, I didn't. I just almost got it. I haven't done it yet. I was going in. You said drink. I was like, let's do it.
I know. I got excited. I'm so excited. I gotta get started, but I'll teach it. You want me to? No, I'm not gonna.
Yes.
So we were told by one Johnny Gills of how to greatest man in the biz, Johnny Gill.
Johnny Gill.
If you're a consistent watcher, you know that we had this guy who works for Dalmore teach us, I guess, the Kentucky Chew is how it's called, and it's the way to swish it around in your mouth. So what you want to do is you want to swish on both sides, really kind of coat the entire side of your mouth. What you're trying to do is you're pretty much trying to numb your mouth. You're trying to get it all over so all your taste buds numb a little bit to them, because the next time you revisit it, you really then will get more of those flavors will pop up afterwards.
And that is exactly
and there was a hum, I think, too, right?
Yeah, he did like a hum to it. He hummed.
He like put his he hummed it out.
It's about you should be swishing it for about 8 to 10 seconds the first time you do it. That's what he went with, and we did it. So he hummed a little song along and went with that. Tracy Roll likes you alive. I don't know if you made it or not.
Tracy's in there.
Okay, so let's.
So ready?
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of like brown sugar and baking spices right away.
That initial one. Now, the thing is, if you don't get anything off your initial, that's fine, because basically what you've done, especially if you're newer to the bourbon and whiskey world, you've just shock and awed all your taste buds. So basically, you've thrown them into overdrive, and that's like what Nick had said. Now, when you go in for your next sip will be a lot easier. You're not going to get as much burn off of it from the alcohol. It'll be a little bit easier for you, and you may be able to get some more of the notes out of it. Now, the thing that we forgot to discuss was some of the common sense.
No, that's not chili.
Oh, that's still the next one. I'm sorry. Never mind.
That's amazing.
You know what? I'm just going to go back to my whiskey. What are you getting?
Hi to Bill Kitcher. I don't know if I said that right. Cheers. Cheers to you, too. He's the one that just says Facebook user, but
Bill,
if you go into the post, there's like a StreamYard thing that you can sign up for. It's
right
above, permission.
If you're on our Facebook page right now, right above it, where you're watching it live, it should say right away, it says StreamYard. We're using StreamYard. Just click on that blue part. It's going to give you, send you to the permissions page, and that will just allow, give it the permissions, and that will allow your name to be shown in our stream. So when we pull it up, rather than just saying Facebook user, it'll actually have your name. So if you wouldn't mind doing that for every people that haven't yet, cheers. See, that's the problem is Bill Kitcher says cheers. You got him, okay? Yep. Okay, Bill. Thank you, sir.
And Aaron did not hear you hum, Nick.
Yeah, no, there was no hum. But here's the other thing, too. Like, our intro that we do there with the spinning little logo and stuff, that's about 8 seconds long. So I should have played that. And when we came back in, that would have been the time it was done. That's an easy way to do it. I was going to do it. I forgot to actually I was going to do a little musical thing there with it for 8 seconds, and we'd be playing it right now. But unfortunately, I didn't do that because I was running out of time, because today I had to go do work. That's right. I am an essential worker, and I had to go move an entire classroom out today. That's what I had to do.
Oh.
So my back is killing me, but, whiskey helps. So
Whiskey always helps, doesn't it?
So what are you getting on the palate, Nick?
I'm getting a little bit of maltiness, too, but...
Yep. But I'm going with that brown sugar, like you said, that brown sugar sweetness.
Yeah.
The fruit note, it really isn't coming through for me on the palate as much as on the nose. I'm still getting like that caramel going on, though, in there. Mm-hmm. And as far as for a finish for me, it's like, we discuss finishes and stuff like that. You hear us talk about the finish. It's really quick for me. It's not long lasting. It's easy. It's like, it's there and then it's gone.
I'm getting like
back of my tongue.
Okay.
It's on the back of that.
What are you getting on the back of the tongue?
It's staying. It's lasting.
For her, it's lasting.
Tongue, so it's a little bit longer. It's not as quick as it is for Derek, but it's just on the back of my tongue. It's still staying there, but it's like a little cinnamony, clovey.
Yeah, getting that little spice. There is that little spiciness in there. Definitely, I agree with Becca. There is that little bit of spiciness in there on it. But it's not like overpowering. Like some of them, you get that pepper spice or that spicy note that just like coats your tongue and lasts for a long time. With this one, it's there for me for a little while. I'm not also getting that long Kentucky hug. This is only 45 proof, so it's only 90. 45% alcohol, so it's only 90 proof. So that's a really easy. Usually for me anyway, depending on how it comes off. But for me, at 90 proof is really easy. Becca's view on it varies depending on the night but your palate changes daily too. So
we'll get to that later.
Yes, we will. There's a lot we're going to be getting because we have a long night, folks. We're not trying to rush this. We want everybody to enjoy, sip along with us. Tell us what you're drinking tonight.
We had somebody say Michter's earlier.
Yeah, we had a Michter's.
We have a Makers Mark Select.
Yep, that was Paul was drinking the Makers Mark Select. We got Jody from Bourbon Bounty. He's drinking the Makers 46.
So I'll tell you,
Buffalo Trace while imagining you guys sipping on a better bourbon.
So I'm wearing my Nichols college shirt because my brother finally came home from the Marines. So so we got together and stuff, and I picked him up late last night, and I was giving him the little tour of the old whiskey cabinet and showing him some stuff, and it was so cool. Like, so he actually was really into the Jack Daniel's single barrel we did.
Oh, okay.
And because I told him, I said, trust me, I know you. Like, you're going to love this. Mm-hmm. So he went out and got it. He loved it. He was, like, ecstatic. He started going around to other people and, like, being like, are you getting this banana? And stuff like that. And, or no, he'd ask them what they got, and then he'd be like, yes, you're right, or stuff like that. It was funny. We had some good laughs about it.
Nice. But that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Hello, AJ.
Welcome home. Welcome back.
good. Now the finish, it's weird. Becca, now I can kind of see what you're saying. It's like right here in the back of your throat, it's just a little warm, just that little bit. And like you said, it's like a cinnamony. So that like brown sugar is very apparent in this one, with just a small bit of spice for me. But again, it's to me the finish is like a lot of nuttiness. There's a lot of like nuttiness or hazelnut or something that's going on in there, or a toffee. That I'm just, to me, it has been standing out. So it's kind of an interesting. It's like the midway roller coaster. You're not getting too many crazy dips.
Right.
Okay.
When you go back to smell it, I can smell the toffee now. Now that I've tasted it and I go back to smell it, I can smell that. I can smell the toffee in there.
I can smell so much. There's a lot going on in Maker's Mark, and that's kind of like why it's one of my favorite just all-time sippers. And I'm ecstatic to get to the 46. So I am going to do a little bit of H2O.
Okay.
Well, what did
you? Put a little H2O in there and bring it down. We talk about that all the time. We say there's no wrong way to drink your bourbon. There really isn't. You can have it on the rocks. You can have it with. You want any water in there, little lady?
Yeah, like he said, like the Jack Daniel's single barrel, he thought was really good with ice in it. So, and we've talked about that before. There's a difference between us adding some H2O in and having something on ice. They're two different things. So.
Yes. Now, usually when you add ice to it, now you are getting that melting factor, so you're slowly adding water to the drink. But what the ice is, it chills it. So when you chill the whiskey or your bourbon, you're deadening some of the flavors in there too, because it's cold. So when you make something colder, it's not actually releasing a lot of the odors that it normally would, and a lot of the flavors become subdued due to chilling it like that. But a lot of people like it like that because it does that for them. So it's not overpowering in any way. And again, there's no wrong way to drink it. You drink it how you like it. And that's our belief. And, we always add water to it also to see if it changes it, if it opens it up for us, if we're getting any other notes.
I think it brought out more of the oakiness for me.
It did bring out a little bit more of the
maltiness.
Maltiness. I got a little more sweetness on the nose myself.
Chris said that everyone should drink every time I give a household object the notes that I pick up.
He thinks
I'm getting like a hardwood table, like if you had just pledged it.
Yes. Ooh, a fresh, like if
fresh pledged table.
Grandma's on the Sunday after she just pledged her oak table. That's exactly what Nick's picking up.
Cheers, everyone.
Yes.
Oh, tap. Always tap.
Candied Nuts is coming out in the Select. Okay. And so Paul, and he's doing the Maker's Mark Select.
Which is another amazing.
Yeah.
Makers doesn't let up.
4 different bourbons that they offer. That one, the Select, is one of them that is available. So I was actually looking for the rye, which I don't know if it was like a special one-off deal. I don't know if anybody else knows about that. That was like back in 2019. They were supposed to release a rye. I don't know if they ever did. I had seen it in one of the blogs I was looking at, and I was trying to find it for tonight because I thought it would be a nice contrast to what we were doing.
Yeah, the rye one actually has a green.
Yeah, the rye has the green wax seal on the top. Mm-hmm. Of the bottle.
You can't beat these little. Look at this little.
No, the little nips are cool. They are really cool. I mean, they do the whole wax top on. I wish they were glass bottles. Like some of them do the glass, which is cool.
I love that they do that. Like to seal their bottles. I think that's so unique and it's so cool. And I've watched videos of when they dip and like let it dry and stuff like that fascinates me.
It is really cool. I mean, there's a lot of really neat stuff that some distilleries do. When we were down there, was it at what was it at? When we went to was the Angel's Envy. The Angel's Envy had an individual like bottling thing at the distillery. You could bottle basically your own bottle. You got to write down into the logbook, what it was, the proof, everything across. You got to put the label on your bottle. So it was kind of an experience in of itself. That was a tour that they had, and I forgot what it was called, honestly, what the tour was called. But you got to do that, which is a neat experience, and having gone to Kentucky, honestly, it was probably one of the better trips we've been on. It's a lot of fun, a lot of different experiences. I mean, you go to every distillery has a tour. Every distillery has a tasting part of the tour. which, they show you, they highlight a couple of their different things that they usually always, all of them, if they have a vodka, you're going to get to try their vodka that they make, or a gin. Most places do make a gin of some sorts, because that is part of, the natural distilled spirit starts out as that, and then they can turn it into anything basically it just depends on what they put it in. But they're really cool. So if you ever get the chance to do the experience, even around us, there's a couple of cool distilleries that you can make it to. We go to one down in Connecticut. We've been to Rhode Island has one.
Yeah, Sons of Liberty.
Sons of Liberty.
Really good one,
Sons of Liberty one was really cool. We actually got a actual barrel from them, so it was kind of neat. I have that out in the garage, but it's too big to bring in here right now, and I don't feel like going off screen.
So do we want to stop this one, move to the 46?
Yeah, we can move to the 46. Let's pour those out. I'm going to put this off over here in some kind of order so we can find it later.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, just put it over there for now. Oh my God.
Oh,
now,
boy.
Here's the whole thing. Like, I had a little bit, like, I have a bottle of Makers Mark, had a screw top. I don't know if they all have screw tops on the regular Makers Mark. So I have the 46 right now, which is a cork. It's a synthetic cork, but it's a cork. Now, are you a cork snob out there in, whiskey world? Like, I like a cork in my whiskey. I don't know why. I just feel that makes it a whiskey is when you take, you hear that cork popping sounds.
Yep.
But there are some distillers that use the screw tops. It doesn't make it any, doesn't take away from the experience at all, but I'm kind of a cork snob, so I like the cork.
I would say I'd like the cork. But again, there could be a bottle out there that I love that's corkless, so who knows?
Well, I mean, a lot of them do have some do have screw tops. You know what I mean? And like, I think, was it one of the Wellers? A couple of the Wellers that I have screw tops. And now Weller is a fairly well known bourbon. You know what I mean? And you expect, which is the beginning of your Pappy Van Winkles. It comes from the Weller line. It's the same mash bills as those, and they have screw tops, which I find just boggles my mind. It really does. It's like, I don't know if there's more money invested in the cork top versus a synthetic cork, or what the deal is. There's got to be some kind of a deal that they have, if that's just the way maybe their line was set up when they bought the plant or they bought the distillery. I don't know. I don't know what the difference is.
Paul likes a synthetic cork.
Paul likes the synthetic cork because, the broken corks is a problem. I had one of those in an old bottle of Glenlivet. I had the actual cork broke, so I had to use a wine bottle cork because that was the only one I had available. But once I start killing bottles and they start dying out, I'll save the corks from them, so I'll have a bag of them. So I'll have different sizes because, like, if you ever had an old Granddad 114, that cork is like massive. It will fit in no other bottle other than another old Granddad. So keep that in mind too. Not all corks are the same.
All right, so we are moving on to the Makers 46.
Yes.
This is one of my all-time favorites, and I'm excited. So during this, we decided we were also going to now bring out the different scents and flavors. Is that right? That you're getting?
Well, yes. We're going to bring that common sense that you find in a bourbon. When you're drinking bourbons or things that you can, a common theme through most of them that you can start with basic stuff you may have in your house already. Like we were saying on the last one on the nose and whatnot. We said, we were getting some cinnamons and we were getting, caramel and vanilla, maybe a pepper either on the palate or anything, or maybe even like the star anise or a clove. Now, those things, if you have them in your cabinet already, in your baking cabinet, you just go in there, grab them, bring them out, and you can do your own little scenting that like we did when we were in Kentucky. Basically, what we did is we had that big scenting kit, which you've seen before on our show that Nick uses all the time, and I use, when we usually cut that out because it takes too long. But it had all the different scents, and basically what we did, we used the Makers Mark 46 down there because it has literally every scent you can think of. When you scent it with that kit, you can actually either pick it out or it's in there for different people. Now, you may get a grass note, you may get a straw note, you may get, the crazier notes. Banana was one of the notes that a lot of people said all the time, but there were other people in the group, and this was a large group of people, said they got a banana, and you're not wrong when you're saying what you're getting out of it. So,
yeah.
So are you ready to whiskey, buddy? You ready to get in on this?
I'm ready and able.
Let's go. Fake noise, real noise.
We're just gonna have to start like
that way too. You can always have your. There
Yeah.
you go. It makes the sound. That's all that matters.
Cheers myself.
Everybody.
This one, the last one we talked about the basics. This one we're really going to focus on the nosing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Bubba Lane. Bubba Lane's in. Hey, Bubba. Oh, day jet skiing. Wow. Okay, everyone. If you want to be friends with Bubba, he's got a jet ski. He's going to take everyone out jet skiing this weekend.
This nose is so strong. When you get like here, I can already smell it.
It is a little bit stronger of a proof also. So it's 94 proof, so it's 47% alcohol. So it's a little bit stronger than the other one.
So if you're just getting into whiskey and you haven't really done it before, one of the things that they say to do is really to start with your glass down low and move it up to your nose. So that way you don't just go in too deep.
Yeah,
Nick has been known to do
Nick does it
occasionally.
occasionally.
So you start down here and you come up and you're going to breathe in as you go until you get to that point where you know where you
start getting the aromas. And you can go in deeper if you can. And the other thing that we do, you see us a lot, is we go side to side. And that is unbelievably didn't know. You have a dominant nostril, which...
That changes
every 3 hours. Your dominant nostril changes every 3 hours. So you may be getting more of the scenting and nosing out of your right nostril than your left at any time. And it could change in the middle of whatever's going on because it may change its dominance. It's duking it out all the time, waiting, once we get
Get ready to rumble.
Get ready to rumble like Nick did with his mic. Oh, there it comes again. Coming in.
Let's get ready to rumble.
I want you so bad the next time to have that right there.
Yeah, it would be perfect.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Amazing. So some of the stuff you may get, I know, Becca, you made such a nice list for me to read off.
She did.
Oak, caramel, vanilla. So we always go back and forth with the caramel and vanilla. The oak is always either oak or cedar. Then you got nuts and toffee. Also butterscotch sometimes falls in there. Yeah. You've got your corn, like a corn or a maltiness or like those rye baking spices. You got brown sugar. Sometimes like a dry cereal or something like that you could get. Which you can kind of get in this one a little bit. I was getting there's fruits such as like citrus or strawberries or bananas or apples, but then there's like a darker version, and even sometimes like cherry. Like cherry could be in the lighter, fruity side, but then could be a darker fruit with like that dark cherry. Other dark fruits could be figs or dates or raisins. So those are all so many different, but like kind of bigger ones that I feel like we talk about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me, I'm getting the brown sugar.
Yep.
So if I'm saying what you should do is take get that scent of brown sugar in your mind, that molassesy kind of sweetness, and then see if you can pick that out. If you're sipping along with us, see if you can pick out that brown sugary scent.
Yep. Jody says you have a dominant foot, dominant hand, dominant eye. Why wouldn't you have a dominant nostril? It's just science or something. It's true, but I never thought about the context of actually having a dominant nostril, because you figure you're using both nostrils. It's going into your olfactory system. They're working it's basically all big one, joined up thing, but there's actually a dominant side to left or right. So who knew? Now we do. Everyone knows.
Darren is getting new car smell.
A new car smell.
All right.
Absolutely. Leather, textile.
Yeah, that leathery textile. That's a very common aroma that you would get. A nose would be that leather, textile-y, new car scent. And you're not wrong with that at all. That's one we get a lot. We get the leathers a lot of times when we're doing it. We get that textile note. Could be a plasticky note to it.
Yeah, and I'm getting a lot of toffee and nuttiness on this one too. Okay. A lot.
And the thing is, like in the 46 again, like there were so many notes you get out of it. Never mind that's just on the nose. Never mind once you actually put it on your palate. We talked about it the other week when we were doing the one of the Woodfords. That Woodford's claim is that they say that there's over 100 different notes they're saying they get in there. Now again, we said it could be if you had 20 different people, if everybody got 5 notes out of it, that would be 100. So it doesn't mean everyone's getting the same note, but there are 100 notes in there.
Wow.
Oh, helicopter's out there. I hear a helicopter.
They're right outside our house. They keep flying over.
Yeah, so hope everyone's staying safe with everything going on out there now. That's why we're doing the live tonight. We're in our living room. It's safe in here.
There is
I'm gonna go in for a sip.
Much.
Yep. Bill Kitcher saying vanilla. I'm getting that again. When I sip bourbons personally, I get mostly one of the major notes I always get is I get the oak. That's one of the first things I pick up. Then after that,
so sweet.
Yeah, and then you're getting that. I'm getting a sweet note on there also, but I'm also getting is like a brown sugar note going on in there. I'm getting a little bit of cinnamon note in there, a light fruit, and I don't know. I'm going more towards like the orchard fruit, so it'd be like an apple for me. Someone else may be getting something else like a banana.
I don't get banana in this
one. Oh, you don't? Oh,
no,
okay, all right.
There's a little cherry actually in this one for me.
I get apple and cherry.
Okay.
I'm going to go in for a sip.
Yeah, let's go in for the sip. Woo. It's got a little bit, definitely a different flavor profile as far as the initial on it. You're getting a little bit more of that alcohol forwardness on it.
I got cereal right off the bat. Like dry, like cereal. Just plain dry. Like a dry Cheerio. Like just plain, not honey nut Cheerio, just plain Cheerio.
You're getting the grain notes out of it, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. That's immediately what I got off that first sip.
And again, folks, we are gonna be doing a drawing tonight. We have a drawing. All you have to do is comment. When your comment comes up, we put it on for the wheel later on, the random wheel name generator. We're gonna do that. We for tonight's drawing, our first drawing is the main drawing. That's going to be for a 375 milliliter bottle of the Makers Mark Cask Strength. We have that. Then we're going to have two runner-up prizes. Our two runner-up prizes is going to be a small bottle of the nip of the regular Makers Mark, and we're going to be doing a sample bottle of the Makers Mark 46. That will be for the runners-up. We'll get that to you. Those will be two runners-up. We have one main, which is the Cask Strength. So we'll be doing that.
Darren said he got a little bit more, if you want to throw it up, a little more syrup, less peppery than the regular Makers. So I would say I get the syrup, I get the little bit heavier of the syrup too to it, like that oil. It is thicker. The pepper, now I still have the other one. You can see them in comparison. Mm-hmm. This is the first one. This is the most recent one. And you can even see the color difference actually, but I'll be interested. You're definitely right, Darren. That first one has a lot of that pepper and spice in it. This one's a little bit dulled down, and I think that's why we get a little bit more of those sweet notes to kind of come out, and the brown sugar is still kind of up forward in your face, too.
Yep. No, so you're saying a little bit more of a syrup. So you're saying it's a little thicker for you, or is it you're getting more of that maple syrupy kind of a thing going on?
I'm thinking thicker. I don't know what he might mean, but
a little more viscosity to this one. It is a little heavier and denser.
You can see it.
A little what?
Viscosity. The viscosity. It's a little bit, got a little more viscous to it.
But the word viscosity sounds like super to me. Like it should be a giant V on someone's shirt. Viscosity.
Hold on one second, Nick. I'm going to pop you in and put you back out. Hold on. Just the reason why is sometimes, for whatever reason, this helps when we start get lag. We pop I'll pop in and out because it reconnects it and it just makes it a little quicker because he was falling behind on my end anyway. Darren, that's right.
Great t-shirt, Viscosity.
I think that will be. Maybe that'll be one of our t-shirts, Nick, when we come out with t-shirts. It'll be Viscosity. Keep it like. We'll take ideas. Anyone ideas for t-shirts? Put them in here too when you're commenting. It doesn't matter.
I picture the V to look like the there's a beer. I think it's called Victory or something. It's this giant V and it's got an eye in the middle. And that's the only thing I can get in my mind right now.
Oh, no, he wants to skip the draw. You never cared for Makers Mark. Oh, Rick's out.
Okay.
Rick's not a big fan of Makers Mark, so he's out. All right, Rick. No problem, buddy. Thanks for joining us tonight, though. We appreciate it.
Hopefully you're sipping something else good.
Mm.
So, again, I don't think that there's much more to break down. I'd love to hear if anyone else got flavors that we didn't. A lot of the ones we read off in the beginning, that's the thing. Like sometimes it's like, all right, you get things right away, and then you almost have to revisit it and go, okay, maybe now let's really dig into it. Okay, so these were already there, and it's like the layers. There's layers. It's like an onion. You got to keep going at it, and eventually you get certain things, and sometimes you just don't get it. That's okay.
Yeah, the thing is, like, the thing with scents is a lot of it is things that you've experienced. Like if you've never experienced, say, cinnamon, you have nothing to base it against. So when we're saying we're getting cinnamon, I'm using that as common, a common thing that most people have. But say that you've never tried cinnamon and know what cinnamon smells like or tastes like. You'd never be able to pick that out. You'd be like, there's a scent in there. I don't know what it is. So a lot of that is based on, experience that you have with it. So, no one's actually ever, actually, I probably, if you ever had like a leather shoelace or a leather collar or a leather something, if you ever chewed on it, you know what leather tastes like. You know what leather smells like. So you have an experience with it. You have something to compare it to. So you know what we're saying.
Did you just say that you've bitten leather before?
I think we've done leather before. Yes, sir.
When?
I'm sorry you've had a sheltered life, all right? Listen, pal, I was young.
If you're biting leather,
right? Listen.
There's only a few couple alleyways I could go in this conversation, so I'm kind of...
The mask I like to wear is leather.
Becca, will you leave the room for like 2 minutes?
I think I'm going to need to.
Oh, boy. See, that's why we have you here. Viscosity equals thick, sticky, and a semi-fluid inconsistency due to the internal friction.
Wow, that literally was like the definition I didn't need for viscosity.
Yeah, that's right. There it is. Jody had it. That's why we have all of our fans so they can pull up stuff like that. Aaron LeBrock says a T-shirt for Becca has to have banana taffy on it. That would be...
I absolutely agree.
I agree. We'd have definitely... That Tootsie Roll...
Tootsie Roll is...
Bubble gum, which is another scent that actually, or flavor that comes up a lot. A lot of people say that bubble gum in there too, so... I say Bazooka Joe because that's one that I do get. Like the old Bazooka Joe, which you unwrap, that kind of a bubble gum.
I did a little cocoa in this now. On the very, very back in the finish, there's a very slight cocoa flavor. Okay. Like a 70% or something like that. The lightest amount you could go before milk chocolate, I'm getting that in it.
Oh, someone's leaving the leather comment alone. I don't know who that is. Who said that? I can't see.
That was Eric Connors.
Oh, Eric. Okay, yes. Thank you, Eric. Eric actually said the other day I was talking to him at work, and he said, he goes, I don't want to come off like a jerk on there. There's a lot of stuff I want to say. I'm like, oh, you mean you can say it?
We might not pull it up.
Yeah, but you can say it. It may not be on screen here. It's going to be for posterity. That's definitely going to be in there. I actually have the actual notes on the last two that we did. On the original Maker's Mark that we had, it said on the aroma with a woody oak, caramel, vanilla, and wheat prevail in the nose. So if you were getting like that, maybe graininess to it, the wheat itself could be in there. On the palate, it was sweet and balanced with caramel and vanilla and fruity essence. This was the perfect whiskey for us because we always toss the vanilla and caramel. This is saying you get it on the nose and on the palate for both of them. So great.
Yep.
And as far as the finish for the first one was smooth and subtle. Now, I got these directly from Maker's Mark site itself. For the 46 on the aroma, it's hints of wood staves, caramel, and sweetness. That's all it says. So
the aroma is so much more on the 46.
Yeah, the 46, it's very basic. And I always try to get the notes, if I can, from the actual distiller. And these are the ones that they're getting there. But the 46, there are so many notes you get out of it. On the taste for this one, the palate, it says a very intense flavors, a big crescendo of wood blending perfectly with deep, complex, and rich notes of vanilla and caramel. Now, again, it goes beyond that. There's the grain notes that Nick's getting. There's the leather in there. There's so much other stuff going on. There's the fruit notes that's going on in there that you're getting.
Yeah, there's a lot more than that. So I think we've done a pretty good job breaking this down.
They're doing it for the very basics, I think, when they're doing their notes. These are the easy ones that you're getting out of that. The finish on this one, again, it's saying smooth and subtle. The finish I'm getting with this one is It lasts a little bit longer than the regular Maker's Mark. I'm getting a little bit longer note on it. That's carrying over. I'm getting a light Kentucky hug. You know, the Kentucky hug is that burn you may feel when you're getting the whiskey, when you're drinking it, and you feel it going down into your chest. It's light. It's not a lot for me. So some others may be getting more than, for Bourbon Bay Becca not to get any. So it's a pretty easy drinker, and a lot of times you hear us use the word smooth, and, in the bourbon circles or whiskey circles, that's like taboo.
For some. I don't think it is in our circle.
No, in ours, we use it quite a bit. You know what I mean? So if you want to say it's smooth, I mean, most people know what it means when you say smooth. It's easy. It's light. It's got that nice light coating. It's not too harsh. So basically, that's what we mean when we say smooth, anyway. Yeah, Aaron, it will happen. Aaron, we will get T-shirts.
No.
What?
He's making me a shirt. I said, please tell me you could make me this shirt.
Oh, all right.
This is banana bubblegum taffy.
There it is.
It will happen.
Yeah, the viscous banana bubblegum taffy. All right, I like it. You know what? We could have T-shirts like that. I mean, honestly, I'm just wanting to get regular T-shirts out. Never mind, all these specialty ones.
Oh, that's the best.
Okay, what do we got? Darren says less hug than the regular Maker's Mark. All right. And the thing is, really, the experience is individual for everybody. It really is.
Now.
Yes.
Darren, are you sipping along with us? So did you do both of them?
Yes, he got the regular and the 46. He was not able to find the Cask Strength. Him and I were talking about it earlier.
So if you've done both, you might not be getting that Kentucky hug because you've already acclimated and you've already done.
You've acclimated yourself to initially from the first one, so it may not be as prominent on the second one.
Right. So if you would have started with this one, you might have had that long Kentucky hug.
So he's got both. Yep. Nice. I'm glad you were. And that's why we want to post. We try to get it out early. We talk to, we have a little private meeting afterwards and we say what we want to do the next week so we can get out early enough for a sip along so everyone can get the same stuff, so even if you can get one of them, you'll be able to join us when we're doing it.
People need T-shirts.
The people need T-shirts. Info T-shirts. All right. I'm going to put a little water in here. I didn't do that initially.
I did it. And, again, it helped. I think maybe if we weren't getting some of the flavors, but we really covered a gist of all of them. So I kind of was like, all right, well, didn't help it, didn't hurt it. But at least for me at this point, I felt pretty confident breaking it down. So
just when I put the water in there initially on the nose, the caramel for me came through like popped, and the oak.
I got Bosc, pear, and apple.
And banana and some bubble gum and
shut up. I got Bosc, pear, and apple.
And A through Z.
Man.
And this
all of the above.
Bourbon Bay Becca's on.
I'm just introducing the people to different things.
I know you are. And the thing is, scents are individual for everyone, so there's no wrong scenting. There really isn't. If you get it, you're getting it.
Nope, she's wrong. 100%.
Right, she's wrong. Nick said it. Nick knows because Nick's been crushing it the last couple of weeks. You've seen it, folks.
That's it. I'm cutting her off.
He's got all three of them. He's been on it. I mean, my Padawan has been crushing it lately. He really has. Oh, he's got his official Glencairn hat. The box.
That's it. Right there.
That's how we pass off our
I know. That's why I was just taking out all my stuff for the next segment. So I was like, all right, I got to get ready. So, folks, we are going to be moving into the next segment in just a second where we are going to be doing the Cask Strength. So if you don't have the Cask Strength, then if you don't have that, I was suggesting to a fellow friend to use the 46 then. If you don't have the 46, then use the regular.
If you have, it still works with anything. Like we put in the notes for the show tonight, we said, the basics that you needed was like a caramel corn or a kettle corn or a chocolate of some sort, maybe a milk chocolate, maybe a 70% cocoa, cacao. We have a couple of different chocolates we have tonight, so there is no right, but
we're going to do it in this order. So if you're at home trying to figure this out, we are going to sample the Cask Strength by itself, break it down. From there, we'll go into the food afterwards, and we are going to go for the salty caramel, Cracker Jacks, whatever you have, popcorn style first. and then move into the chocolate, because the chocolate is so overpowering, and each chocolate has its own essence, as Becca would say, like that helped really like pull out different flavors. So she's going to kind of lead the reins with that a little bit. So in case you didn't know, we were doing the 70% cocoa. These are all lit from Lindt. A dark chocolate with orange, a dark chocolate with chili, which we'll probably go quickly through that one.
Yeah, we'll go through those. We got the chili will probably last. Lindt again is not a sponsor for us. It was just they just have so many different ones. This one's gonna
and the sea salt last.
It's a dark chocolate with sea salt, and we've got the 70% cacao, cocoa, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I've heard it 1,000 different ways, but I also got a whole bunch of other ones. I had like a 95% one. So bitter. It was like we settled on the 70% because that was the closest one for the dark chocolate that was palatable for us anyway. You know, we tried them the other night and we were like, oh, no. And we even actually, we had an 85%. And we were like, nope, can't do that one either. So we ended up with the 70. But so we have a couple of different chocolates we're going to be going through here. Whatever chocolate you have, if you have a milk chocolate at home, that'll work great too. It really... You'll be amazed how much the palate will change or different stuff that you're going to pick out once you try that with the whiskey itself. If you were able to find any of those or have any of that stuff, you know, even the basic available. So
you scratched your cheek and now you're bleeding.
I am?
Yes, I just gave you a napkin.
Oh, geez. Wow.
You could have been classy there.
I could have been, but I was like, wow, I scratched my cheek.
Wow, you got so into it.
I did get into it, evidently. I guess so. I'm bleeding, folks. That's what I'll do for the show. I bleed. I'm willing to bleed for the show.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
It's all right. It's okay. It's only merely a flesh wound.
Nearly a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound.
All right. So we're going to go through this first, and we're going to do our regular.
Yeah, we're going to do our regular initial nosing, see what we're getting out of it, and then we'll do. You know, it's really more on the palate, I think, more of which everything changed. So we'll go through our initial nosing. Then when we get to the palate, we'll try it without, and then we'll start going into the different things that we have. If that sounds good to you, Mr. Nick.
Sounds perfect. Let's do it.
I want to know first, however, comment who got Cracker Jacks?
Yeah,
please
who has?
Tell me
who does anybody have Cracker Jacks?
Got Cracker Jacks. I might enter your name twice if you got Cracker Jacks.
Yeah. So if you got Cracker Jacks out there, we found it. We have it right here. You know, we got the official Cracker Jacks. We even have the prize. I'm going to tell you this: as far as the prizes go, from when I was a kid, the Cracker Jack prizes now suck. They give you a sticker. You have to go online, and it gives you like something. It's like. I wanted like the little, I don't even care if it was a little magnifying mirror, the little anything. I wanted something. I got this. Cracker Jack sucks.
Yep.
Say that. They're prizes.
It's a prize. This isn't a prize. This is a piece of paper. I have to go look and see what I didn't win somewhere else. So basically, you know, I want instant gratification. Bring it back, Cracker Jacks. I know that it's dangerous because it's a whole different society now. We can't trust people with small objects because they automatically put it in their mouths and eat it. So
well, I've seen you. You take the box.
I do take the box, and I have no problem doing that. I do.
And
I don't know what the heck I did to myself here on my cheek. Like wounded.
Hey. You know what? I think Becca might have cut you.
Show, and you know, me and Nick have dressed up in costumes and whatnot.
I was just going to say you had a whole kilt the other day. And
kilt, and I didn't.
You know, sword.
I know it's crazy. I know I didn't wound myself, but geesh. Today, who knows? All right,
I blame Becca.
So you ready to get on this one, sir? Are you ready to whiskey?
I'm ready and able.
All right, sir. Thank you. And there it is, official. The Lonely Man's Clank.
Wah, wah.
You just have Michaela off scene, just reach in with a glass.
Just
come over.
Let's get ready to rumble. Right? Yeah, good York. All right. So what are you getting, guys?
Cacao is a fermented bean that has been roasted. Cacao powder.
I'm getting like a salted caramel popcorn. Oh, I'm sorry. That's just my mind. I'm very excited to dive into this.
Yeah, that's right, Jody. That's all you get is a code to get a prize.
Oh, there's something very interesting in this one.
Yeah, it's got a really nice nose.
So if you don't have the cask strength, so talk a little bit about what cask strength is.
All right. So when you're dealing with the different bourbons, when you're dealing with, you know, you're getting your regular, so let's say the regular Maker's Mark, which comes in at 90 proof. when they initially get ready, whatever they finish with the aging process, say it's 4, 5, 6, 10 years. When they open up that barrel, they pour it out. They go, the distiller, the master blender, will try it and go, all right, that's too much. And they add water. So basically they add the water till down to get to 90 proof. That's what they think is the perfect amount. And so that is what they put into the bottle. Now they go to the next one, say the 46. So at the 46, we had it at 94 proof. They said, that's perfect for this one. That's what we wanted at. When you're getting cask strength, barrel strength, that is whatever the proof is when they just pour it out right from the barrel. So this one is 110.15. I'm sorry, 1.3, 110.3. That's when they just opened up the barrel, they poured it out. They do in the hydrometer, I believe is what it's called, I think. I don't know. It's whatever reads the alcohol content in there. That's what you're getting. You're getting it. This is basically right out of the barrel. That's what cask strength, barrel strength means. Oh, that's got a really nice nose. And I know
it's got a very nice nose.
You're getting a little bit of the alcohol in there. I'm getting the oak. I'm getting a fruit note. I'm also getting cinnamon. I'm getting a vanilla. The fruit, is an apple. She's saying red apple.
Red apple.
I'm getting like an apricot.
Okay. That's another thing you can do. Dried fruits.
And like pear.
Yep. Pearish. I'm just getting.
And I hate pears, but I'm smelling it.
Tony Daggs, sorry you're late. It's okay. Don't add you. It's all right, buddy. You're in. Powdered toast, man. Powdered toast. I don't know what that means. Oh, powdered toast, man. That's from SpongeBob.
This smells so good.
It does. I get like a figs and
figs. Huh?
Yeah, like a little fig Newton.
All right.
Ooh, fig Newton. Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna taste it, guys.
No, Tony, you're in. We're gonna put you in. You would just the whole thing is if you're late, you're late. Unfortunately, some people, you had stuff to do. Sure, you were fishing, digging a hook out of your hand like you normally do. Ooh, that's got a really nice nose. I mean, this is the first, honestly, we've had the cask strength. We opened it for the for this, but we tried it the other day. It's my first time, actually, we tried the cask strength Makers Mark. I've had cask strengths before. I usually go for the higher proofs myself. I buy a lot of the cask strengths that I do have.
I'll say that.
Oh, it was Ren and
the
Stimpy.
One thing I did.
I'm sorry, Ren and Stimpy. That's who it's from.
I find that this is a fun one, and the first time I tried it, I did this, Becca. And if you actually do the swish in your mouth, the Kentucky chew with this one, it's very interesting. Your mouth will actually slowly start increasing in temperature. It's got so much alcohol in it. My mouth started physically heating up just having it sit in my mouth. It's the weirdest feeling. So if you do get a chance to ever try this, try it out. So.
Oh yeah, alcohol content is way up there. It's definitely higher than the other two, but still, again, I'm not getting that Kentucky burn. It's like really easy for me. I mean, honestly.
But your third one in. Yeah,
this is also our third whiskey in, and we've slowly gone up in progression with the alcohol contents from when we went to the next. So if I was to start out with this one, which, if you've watched our shows when we do it blind, when we have one of those ones that has that alcohol punch, we both, me and Nick both say, whoa, we know it's got that punch to it. It's got that long lasting feel to it. So when you come into it blind, it's a little bit different, or your first, sip that you're getting, you haven't tried anything else yet.
Yeah.
Good point. So like when we started out with the lowest
and
we worked our way up. Had we started out with the highest and we worked our way backwards.
Yeah, it would have been that initial, everybody here would have went, whoa.
And we
got
would have
that
really
initial,
gotten nothing out of the regular Makers.
No, I don't think we would have gotten anything.
So if we would have started high and went down low, we would have really.
But like that initial shock and awe that we told you that you get when you do that initial swish, that first sip, that will carry you through for the rest of your tasting for the rest of the time. So if you're doing a tasting of Flight Board or whatever it is, that first sip you get will carry you through the rest of your whiskeys. You're not going to get that, whoa, that's so much. You're going to be able to tell that there's more alcohol with it, but it's not going to be that burn that you normally get if that's the only thing you're sipping on.
So when you're that Kentucky chew there that you do in the very beginning, if you had a flight of whiskeys, you would only need to do that for the very first one.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. You don't have to continue to do it. Yeah, you've already done the shock and awe factor with that first sip that you did with your initial tasting. So that will carry you through. You don't have to do that long swish for 10 seconds again. I mean, I always do, no matter what, when I do my next tasting, I'll always still do the swish to coat my tongue, and to get the contents of the bourbon all over, getting all my taste buds in there, getting everything I can possibly.
Mm-hmm.
But again, this one, a lot of the oak in there, but I'm getting that sweet note. You're getting the apple again on the palate. That there's like a vanilla-y creaminess in there also.
I think you should pull up Tony's comment, ooh, and Bourbon Babe.
Just saying. Okay, yeah. So where are we there? Oh, yeah. Ooh, and Bourbon Babe. That's right. He did come in late, and there he is.
And he made up for it.
Yeah, that's his new person that he's got on there for his screen on Facebook. He's got the toast.
But he made up coming
Powdered Toast Man. Yep. He did. He made up for himself with the ooh and Bourbon Babe. Yep. Tonight we don't have Sadie. There's no Sadie tonight. We have Bourbon Babe with us tonight. She was really excited about doing this episode with the whole Bourbon 101, the basics, because everything that we ever did when we were down in Kentucky, it was basics, the basic bourbon, entry level stuff. And it was great. When we got to do our executive bourbon course, it's really, they take you to the basics and working your way through, because when you're doing the executive bourbon stuff, it's really to introduce others to the world of bourbon and whiskey, which is great. You just be more knowledgeable about it. You're able to explain stuff, talk a person through, maybe give them a suggestion or point them in the right direction that they may want to start with a whiskey. I would never point anybody to a cask strength to start with. Never in a million years. There are a lot of great entry-level bourbons that people can try that will get them into it, that won't scare them away from it, and that's the thing too. Maybe it'll be in a mixed drink. You don't have to just go into it straight or neat like we do it. You could start it out with doing a mixed drink, maybe an old-fashioned or a whiskey sour or something like that, where you're dealing with a lot more of the sweetness factors or sour factors going on there to introduce yourself to whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, Nick, what are you thinking?
Yeah, what are you getting there, buddy?
What you getting? You've been tasting over there. I've been watching.
It's definitely got a lot of a fire behind it, but it's like a nice. You're right. It's not a Kentucky hug, but it is in your mouth and your palate, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a really nice sipper, and you guys have covered a lot, so I'm actually yeah. I was kind of sitting there like, yeah, all right. Yeah, okay, no, I'm not getting much more.
All right, so we did the basics with the regular Maker's Mark.
Yep.
We did the nosing in depth with the 46. But now let's talk about the palate. So when you are tasting, program wants internet access.
Block it.
Okay.
So whatever, it doesn't matter.
All right.
There you go.
Sorry, little technical difficulties.
Technical issues.
So when you're tasting something, originally, your palate is always different. Depending on what you've had to eat prior, what you've had to drink prior, what time of the day it is, any of those things are going to make a difference. So when you take a look at the bourbon that we're having right now, it's a very, it's got a little kick to it. It has a higher alcohol percentage.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a little bit of a burn. Like Nick said, you can feel it across your tongue and in your mouth. But what you eat can change the way that you experience. Nick is now coughing and choking
on it. So basically, yeah, with that end of it, if you have the, what you're eating at the time can change the experience with what you're drinking. So maybe if you're eating a charred steak, you're going to get more of those charred notes or that earthiness to it. What we want everybody to try is if you've got your caramel corn, Nick, are you ready? So start chewing on that caramel corn, put it in your mouth.
I'm telling you.
Get that going. And that way it's still in your mouth.
Eat another one.
get another one, reintroduce it, but at the same time, now take a sip.
And do one more.
Okay.
Just
Now take a sip of your whiskey, your bourbon. Ooh. Wow.
It completely changes
It changes it. Now I'm getting a lot more. Now I'm getting the oak, but I'm getting more of the charness out of that, the charred oak out of it than I was initially.
I'm also getting salty, briny.
I'm also getting the sweet caramelly part of it that you weren't. I was getting caramel, but I'm getting more of that sweet end of it, which is more of like that, maybe like a caramel, like the syrupy kind of a deal going on there. Wow.
See, for me, I'm going to do it again because as I agree with you, I don't know if it's really helping bring out the flavors, or is it just a good pairing as a snack because the flavors complement each other. Mm-hmm. So does the cask strength really have those caramelly and flavors that, like you said, the saltiness and the sweetness, like I actually would agree with you on Beck. Maybe it brought out like a little saltiness. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if this is helping bring more flavors out so far. So I'm gonna eat a couple more and then go back because
absolutely,
it could just be a good like pairing, like a good snack to eat while you're having bourbon.
Well, and that's the whole thing. It's about the pairings are stuff that complement what you're drinking or eating at the time. So the bourbon itself or the whiskey should complement the meal. So if it's going to go along with a meal, it should match it. And so if you're having something hearty, like I said, like that steak, you want something that can match up to that or, go with it. So this, I believe myself, I would think would go very well with a nice steak. You're going to get that charriness. You're going to get that earthiness, those tones, that pepperiness in the background you'd get out of this.
See, now for me, when I had this originally, I said I got that fruity flavor.
Yep.
And I'm not getting that fruitiness.
No, the fruitiness isn't coming
now.
Now
that's gone for me. And it's more of like that salty caramel, salty sweet kind of mixture.
Let's go over to the milk chocolate, the 70% cacao, if you have it. So we're going to try that. So now with the chocolate, in a lot of places when you're doing it, the distillery tours will match it up with a chocolate of some sort, maybe a salted chocolate, a chocolate with nuts, stuff like that.
Wait, before you eat. So Darren, I like what he said. So he said with the 46, it actually canceled out that caramel from the corn and that it tasted more of like a toasted flavor.
Nice. Okay. That's good. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to give you just the aromas, the taste that you're getting off of this that you're supposed to get that they're saying. So on the notes, the aroma is big oak, vanilla with a smoky charcoal. So I said I got more after that. I was getting more of that smoky, that charriness out of it, which came out more when I had the Cracker Jacks. Now on the taste, richer, more robust flavors of spice, vanilla, and smoke. That's what they're saying you're going to be getting on the palate. The finish, it's a longer finish, front of the tongue with no roughness or bitterness to it. That's what they're saying. Whether you get that or not, that everyone's experience is different.
All right. Does anybody have chocolate?
Now,
who's got the chocolate?
Who's got chocolate now? If you have your milk chocolate, we're at the chocolate section.
Milk chocolate.
No, this is 70%.
This isn't milk chocolate.
This isn't milk. This is a dark chocolate we're using right now. But if you have your chocolates, now is the time to break out the chocolate right now. That's what we're getting into. So take a bite of your chocolate, and let it melt and coat your tongue. Work it around like we did our initial swirl around that you're doing on the tongue, coat it all over. And then take a sip of your whiskey. Wow, that changed it. That is crazy. I mean, obviously, you're going to get more of you're going to get a chocolate note in there. You're getting that cocoa in the background. But
that was tasty.
That was wow.
For me, that brought out all the spiciness. I now get cinnamon, and I get
the cinnamon,
I get like a spicy, like
now this
almost
versus
like a
the
licoricey.
Yep. For me, the oak just comes through. I'm not getting that char part of it again. Now the oak is coming through for me on this.
Black licorice is what I'm getting.
Okay. Take another bite of your chocolate.
You just bit mine.
Okay.
Does different chocolate give you different results? Ah, yes, it does.
Rick, that is a very good question because we have different chocolates. This is the 70% dark chocolate that we're doing right now. The same. Now we gave Nick the trials of everything that we have here that we're using. We gave to Nick. Right now, I am breaking out which one's this? This is the
touch of sea salt.
Dark chocolate with a touch of sea salt. We're going to see what that brings out for us with this.
That 70% cocoa really does a nice job pairing with this, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the coating of the texture from the 70% is already nice in your mouth. Mm-hmm. But to finish with the bourbon, that cocoa flavor lasts as you go through a few sips, which is nice. So I can totally see how this would be a good pairing. Like if you're sitting on the couch and you're watching a show, playing some games, whatever it is, and you're sipping on something, a piece of this chocolate is going to be a perfect complement that it's still everlasting. What I think I like about this the most is not only do I have the chocolate still everlasting in my palate, but I also got the bourbon that's sitting there too. So now it's all, the whiskey. So now it's all sitting together. And it's working really well. It's really tasty.
They gave us a chocolate in one of the distillery tours, and I was like, that is so strange to me. Like a chocolate. Then we went to the next distillery tour and they gave us a different chocolate. And the next one I was like, I'm really loving these chocolates, but they did the chocolates with they paired them up at the very end when we were having the most, the highest proof or with a rye.
Yeah,
so
with a rye.
A rye is something that they also do. So if you didn't have like a cask strength, a rye would be a good complement to use with a chocolate to see what brings out that flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So have you tried the sea salt one yet?
I haven't moved, so I don't know what you guys were. I was still on the 70% cocoa.
Okay. I have a sea salt in front of me. I have not yet tasted.
All right. And also, Darren had a great point, and I actually would 100% agree with him.
Yeah.
It makes the chocolate that much more enjoyable.
It does make it makes the whiskey, the bourbon itself more enjoyable. I mean, because it's like you're getting that coating on your tongue, but it's bringing out all those different notes. You're getting that subtle sweetness, but you're also getting that cocoa note, that chocolate note that prevails through it, but it's also enhancing some of the other flavors that are going on in there.
And it makes the experience last that much longer.
Yeah, it does.
So
I need a little bit more whiskey here.
I think I'm going to.
Yeah, I know.
The finish is...
Let it not work tomorrow.
I do. The finish lasts. It makes the experience last longer. So if you wanted to make one glass of bourbon last a little bit longer than
it's
just
really about
nailing through it, then this is the way to do it. Like pair it up with something that's going to make it coat that tongue and stay in that mouth and linger.
Or do it with the the scenting where you're trying different things. You're smelling that piece of cinnamon and comparing it to the actual bourbon itself. Or you've got the ginger, or you've got all those, anything that you have in your cabinet for a spice. You smell that, take a sip, or take a nosing and see if you're getting those out of it. So you're extending the experience itself with a simple glass. You know what I mean? I mean, these are small pours that we're doing right now. Ordinarily, you'd get this, a pour at a place, you'd get up there. It's about 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces, depending where you go. So you can go for quite a while with it. Nick, where are you at with your chocolates? What chocolate?
He's still on the sea salt.
Oh, he's still on the sea salt?
I haven't even done anything with sea salt yet either.
I thought you took a bite of it already.
I just took a bite.
Wow. The sea salt just made that whiskey flip. That whiskey is completely different now between the sea salt and the 70% cocoa all day. Wow.
Bill Kitcher has the sea salt. I'm glad you actually have the sea salt chocolate. He says it makes the 46 even better. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing. When you're doing this, the experience that you get when you do a pairing with it. Now, that little piece of chocolate will totally change your experience with the 46. I'm sure even with the regular Maker's Mark, if that's what you have. Right now we're doing the Cask Strength because it's a little stronger. It has all the same stuff that's going on and everything else. It's just that the foolproof version. And that's the other thing too. If they say foolproof is another version of Cask Strength bourbon or the barrel strength.
So Jody, if you're still watching, you said you were waiting for the better bourbon.
Yep.
Try it with chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate will make
better.
Yeah, chocolate
Just
will probably
makes it
make
better.
almost any bourbon better if you're still there, Jody. At least through our experience. I don't know if you've ever tried it before. With your stuff that you've done or tried it with any of the bourbons you're sipping on at any time. But yeah, it does make a big difference. The sea salt, now that saltiness brings out that little, a different flavor factor because now you're throwing something else on your tongue also.
You know what I'm getting?
What
No,
you
I was
got,
going to say, which is what?
Oh,
Yours.
go ahead.
Oh,
It's just that brininess. That's a little bit of brininess that you're getting, that salt factor in there. I would like to try this is with some of the scotches that we do, the chocolate, to get that sea salt chocolate. And I'm sure it would bring out more of the brininess in those scotches we do.
Especially that one where you were on the cliff.
Yeah, on the cliff and you're getting that mist.
Yeah.
And my flowing locks.
With all this beautiful locks of hair.
That beautiful hair right there. That would be amazing. You need a fan just blowing on you to get that,
I have a fan. I should do that for slow motion for the fans. No, what I was going to say is I'm getting like a chocolate covered fruit. So when you get like a chocolate covered strawberry fresh out of the refrigerator after it's been sitting for a while, and you bite that chocolate covered strawberry right at the tip where it's chocolatey and it's strawberry. I'm getting that with the Cask Strength and that sea salt. Is you're getting this like, I was gonna say like a chocolate covered cherry, but like not like a regular cherry, like a dark cherry, like a almost like a what's this? The ones that the Luxedo cherries. Like I almost think like a chocolate covered Luxedo cherry, the dark ones we use sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the flavor I'm getting now from this drink.
Completely
I can
agree.
see that totally.
Like one of those that you get from a really good like chocolate place.
Yes,
Not like the kind you get from the local CVS.
No,
like
that,
the kind you get from like a good
that
chocolate.
dark chocolate wrapped around that. That's the one that you.
Yes.
That's that super rich, dense flavor. Yeah.
Good call.
So
Darren says it makes the chocolate more enjoyable if that's even possible. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna move to the. Do you want to move to the orange one?
I want to move to the orange in the worst way because I want to experience the orange now.
This one's
all right.
We tried this. We did do it the other night. We tried that. We would just. I had a
Well,
piece.
You
of
did.
Which one?
Yeah, we had to see which one because we had a whole bunch of different chocolates and we wanted to see which ones accentuated the flavors more.
And changed them
And
because
changed it. Yeah.
it's 3 or 4 different chocolates.
That even the chocolate smells amazing with the orange in it.
Right, but it's 3 or 4 different chocolates, same brand name.
It's the same brand chocolate.
But
It's
each
just
one of them has brought something different out in that whiskey.
it has
Something
So,
different in the bourbon.
going in for the bite with the orange bourbon, orange chocolate. Right here.
All right, the orange chocolate itself is like next level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is good chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Now a little sip of whiskey.
I need another bite first.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Now, we said there's fruit in there. Yeah, we all said there was fruit in the initial flavorings when we got it. But, it probably is because we're having the orange chocolate. But it's bringing out such a citrus note in the whiskey when you're taking a sip. It totally changes. Folks, honestly, I know the Lindt chocolates are more expensive if you go. I think these were 2 for $6 the other day when I went to the store to grab them. And I grabbed a whole different bunch. Treat yourself to an experience. Not going to lie. Go out, buy the different flavors of chocolate. And I think there was a raspberry one there.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's just what you're getting out of it totally changes everything.
This orange one is next level with this bourbon afterward. I mean, it literally
chocolate may work, Tony.
This now I'm getting again that same like chocolate covered cherry, but I'm getting that orange peel in there too. Mm-hmm. It's almost like a chocolate covered orange. It's oh, do you remember those balls, the orange balls you could get that was that covered in the chocolate? What were those called? Like a Clement something. Remember they were in little boxes. What are you? What are you?
I don't know.
That's what it tastes like. It's so good. This is my favorite one.
It is really
To
good.
me, I said
Between this and the salt.
the best old fashioned I have ever had.
Yeah. Once she did this, she tried this with this. She goes, "This is the best old fashioned I've ever had." I like the old fashions when they have like that orange, the orange bitters in there, and they do the little rimming with the orange around it. It just that orange flavor that you get through the whole drink is amazing to me, and I
That
love
actually tasted like there's like sometimes at liquor stores you can get like the one time I got like these chocolates that had tequila in them and stuff. You know how you can get different chocolates that already have the booze in them? Like that's kind of what I got from that flavor was this like an orange chocolate if it had like bourbon inside of it. Oh my gosh, you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember the chocolates I got you, Derek, from that guy at that thing I went to? That's what this tastes like.
The whiskey, the different flavored chocolates. Yeah, that's
totally what it is.
Carried over. Yeah, that was a good. All right. Yeah. All right. So have you enjoyed enough of your orange? Can we move on to the chili, or you're not doing the chili?
I really don't want to do the chili, but I will.
You got to do the chili. You came on the show.
Here's the chili.
I'm so dreading this chili one. I can't even express to you.
Dude, the chili is delicious.
Let's see. Cheers.
Now, before I do the chili, I'm gonna hesitate and I'm gonna try to like make it so I don't have to actually eat the chili one. If you don't have the chocolates, there are many different things that you can use that would also accentuate the flavors of the bourbon.
If you had an orange and a fresh apple, a pear, any kind of a fruit, dried fruits, dried apple, dried apricot, any of that kind of stuff, that will also, if you have cashews, peanuts, stuff like that.
A nice cheese.
Actually, a nice cheese, yes. A shot cheddar or the nice Parmesan.
Yeah, not
the powdered can or the stuff that comes pre-shredded. A nice piece of Parmesan cheese, Parmigiano Reggiano, one of those, something like that, where you peel it off, take a bite of that, take a sip of whiskey. All of that is all about the pairing.
Woo!
If you're doing that, I really don't even want to try it.
Oh, nope, you have to.
Stalling.
Here's why.
I'm stalling.
The chocolate itself, the chili chocolate, is subtle. So I'm eating it. I'm like, I'm not really getting chili. And then all of a sudden in the back palate, I was like, all right, I can kind of see the chili, but it's not there. Whoa. Like, it's faint. But then you drink
the whiskey with it?
Then you drink the whiskey and you're like, whoa, it's this spiciness. It's like biting into jalapeno, but it's like, it's not terrible. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%.
Wow.
That's just the chocolate. I haven't had the whiskey.
Oh, wait till you have the whiskey. You want to bring out all the pepper notes in there? Any spice notes? You're gonna get it when you do it with the chili chocolate. Oh my goodness!
I don't even want to take a sip.
All the spice notes came through. Oh, that's gonna be honors.
It lasts for like 3 or 4 sips too. That chili lasts for 3 or 4 sips. It's so overpowering with peppery and spice. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's wild.
The sea salt one.
That brings out so much of the spice. Woo!
Oh my
that was crazy.
That changes everything up. Holy moly.
If I could rank these, I would say the dark chocolate with orange, the sea salt next, the cocoa, then the caramel corn, and last the chili.
Yeah, the caramel corn is good. That really brings out a lot of those sweeter notes. I mean, well, obviously, a lot of the chocolates will bring out the sweeter notes, but that chili brings out all those peppery notes in it.
It's me. I'm having the sea salt, and it's still got me right here.
They have the orange on.
No.
Oh, okay.
Look how cute.
There she goes. She got a couple of sliced strawberries here. That's what she did.
And I forgot to give Nick strawberries.
I'm not going to lie to you. Before we started this was like almost a full bottle. It was like 3/4 full, maybe half. We're slowly working through the cask strength here tonight.
Dude, for the 2 that you gave me, they're gone. Look, this is all I got.
Wow.
I told you I knew I was going to need it. So I know we're going to wrap up soon, and I have a cocktail I was going to surprise everyone with.
Get on the cocktail right now while we get everyone here. So Nick's got a little cocktail he's going to whip up using the Maker's Mark. I believe he's using the 46. I'm going to try a strawberry as he's doing that in the back. Once he steps,
you got a minute. I still have to grab some stuff.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. So we'll just talk.
Put it to the two of us, or will we not know when he's back?
Yeah, we'll know when he's back.
Okay.
So we're gonna drop Nick out, and it's just us. Hey, so when Nick comes back, I'll be ready for him when he's back in. But we're trying the strawberry right now. So again, if you have fruits, anything like that to try to use, definitely do it. I mean, the fruit, apple, pear, stuff like that, and see what it does.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things like you can dip the strawberry in sugar. You can dip the strawberry in a little bit of salt. Flaked sea salt is actually nice pairing with that. And then to try it after, it really completely changes the palate. It's actually very refreshing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Much better than the chili.
I like the chili better.
You do?
The strawberry for me, I didn't really get anything else out of it. And these are nice ripe strawberries too.
They're good strawberries.
I'm really not getting.
You don't get that fruitiness now.
Well, there's a little fruitiness in there. I was getting the fruity before, but this I'm not really getting a lot of more out of it.
No.
No. Oh, let's see what Nick is.
Oh, is he back?
Is he back? Is Nick back? Is he back?
I'm back.
Hey!
Hey!
There he is.
All right. So I got to do it standing up. I'm on my laptop, so sorry about the video focus. So I got myself a little bottle of the Makers 46, so I'm just going to open this up. So yeah, how would you guys rank those chocolates and like which order to do them with and stuff?
Oh, nice.
I agree with you. The orange one.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, the orange is really
good. Then
the
sea salt. Then I actually like the caramel corn, and then the 70%.
I went back on that. I was like, the 70% was a little bit faint, but it was fun, like to try it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So I decided I would make a cocktail that our good friend Darren actually tried out for us. We had posted on the page about, I want to say a week or two ago, and it's the bourbon limoncello drink. So all you need for this, 2 ingredients, bourbon and limoncello. I'll be making a variation of this. There's different ways to do it, and I'll kind of go into that in a little bit. Get your limoncello. Doesn't matter what it is. Mine's from a Trader Joe's, and I got my bourbon. Okay? All I'm going to do is I'm going to do an ounce of the bourbon. This is what the recipe calls for. An ounce of the bourbon. Okay? So I got my ounce in my jigger. I'm going to pour it in. Okay? Then I also just need an ounce and a half of limoncello. Okay, an ounce and a half of the limoncello. So I'm going to fill this up. Almost over poured. Flip it over, do the other half. Now, the reason I said there's different variations, the original recipe said that you could use, just going to get a napkin, that you could use dry vermouth. I'm not a vermouth guy, so I'm not going to add that in. If you'd like to add that in, go ahead. I'm going to try this cocktail. This is the first time I'm trying this, so once I have it in there, I'm actually going to do the stir method with this one. And instead of normal cubes, I also did crushed, so it's like almost like a slushy. And cheers, everyone. I'm going to try this one out for you. Oh, this is delicious. This is really good, actually. So, to me, the limoncello's up front, and for some people, it's not the best. Some people don't want that too front. So, like, Darren actually made a little bit of a change, and he did 2 ounces of the bourbon and then an ounce of the limoncello. So, you try out whatever you like the best. And I approve this cocktail. This is pretty good. So cheers, everyone. Thanks for the suggestion, Darren. And Rebecca and Derek for posting that on the page.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, thank you, Nick.
I can't wait to try that.
I know. I can't wait either. I have to go out and get some limoncello so I can make that up.
We actually have one that Sadie brought back from Italy, but I just don't want to put put it with anything. I just want to sip just the limoncello from Italy. I don't.
While we're on here, I will add the other ounce of the bourbon to try to even it out a little bit more and see if I might like it with more of the bourbon, or if the limoncello's, the stronger limoncello is the way to go. So again, cheers. It's really good. I would suggest the extra. I would suggest the extra bourbon. So I did, to recap, 2 ounces of the bourbon, 1.5 ounces of a limoncello. And if you notice, I just stirred this. I didn't shake it. I didn't do anything crazy. So glad we got to do this one.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, because next week we got a fun cocktail coming your way. So
another cocktail next week. I think.
Wait.
Next week, actually, when we do our live, next week's will be on Wednesday.
No.
Yeah.
No,
it's not. No, Nick and I decided. We had a meeting.
We're not doing it next week?
We're doing it on Thursday at 9 o'clock.
Thursday at 9 next week. I'm sorry.
So what happened is Derek was gracious enough to get him and myself an Eventbrite. So basically, kind of like how you can buy tickets to paint nights and concerts and all this stuff. He got us to a virtual Zoom with some pretty big, important people to do some samples, kind of similar to the way we do our show, but with like bigger, higher up people that have been doing this for a long time. So, Derek, you want to explain that and throw me out of here?
No, I don't want to throw you out. Not at all. Yeah, it was a thing that was available. It's a once in a, the thing is, it was the end of a batch that they had of a rye. So the guy offered it. His name is Colonel Steve Ackley. He runs the AVB network, if you want to check him out. And they were going to be doing a virtual tasting. So the virtual tasting was going to be, I don't know why I just, no one's there, but now we're back. So the virtual tasting, and we're going to get it to sit down. They're going to have the distiller on, and he's going to explain the distilling process for that batch that he did. They were down to like the last, I think he bought the last 2 bottles of it. And then he sold them off for the virtual tasting. And that's what we'll be doing next Thursday at 8. It's supposed to go 8 to 9. And evidently at 9 o'clock is when we'll be doing our live. So we'll be next Thursday at 9 o'clock. Yes. We'll be going live. Nick looks like he's getting back in. So I'll pull Nick back in. And there we are. Back to our version with everyone fits in. But yeah, so next week it'll be 9 o'clock or maybe a little bit after 9, depending if it goes over. We don't know. This is our first one we've done. It'll be kind of cool, because we're going to be doing actually that tasting, and they have another one that they sent with us, which is a really not that aged. I think it's only been aged like 2 years, a rye, and they're going to explain that one. And we're going to taste that one too. So it'll be kind of cool. I'm
very excited. And then afterwards, what we decided was we'll come on for a quick live, probably half-hour tops, folks. We're gonna kind of recap what happened, talk about a little bit. Derek and I might do a little social distancing in the backyard, and if it's nice weather, and kind of do it together. So we actually might be able to go live next to each other, which will kind of be fun.
It'll be a different experience if we can actually get that, So
yeah,
and then opening up, maybe we'll be able to get back to the studio soon too, because hopefully we can do that. It'll be nice. So let's see, where am I? Aaron O'Brien.
I was going to say there's some comments I know we need to talk about. But yeah, so
that cocktail though.
Yeah,
it looks like Tracy made it. Paul made it.
Yeah, Tracy.
People are making
it. Tracy made it. Darren did do it. I think
it's guys. It's so good. I don't know if you guys have tried this yet at home. It's honestly, Becca. What we're making next week is better than this, but this is like the dumbed down version of what we talked about.
Wow.
Well, Paul Lavelli made one. Darren made one. Tracy made one. Paul says, "Wow, holy!" Well, I can't. I'm not going to say it but you can see. You can see it. It's there on the screen.
You know what the thing is it's very like it's tasty to sip along with, and you don't have. It's not a chugger, obviously. It's all booze. This is a martini for the bourbon whiskey scotch drinkers. Like that's what this is. It's all alcohol. So drink responsibly, right? Responsibly. Now next week's cocktail is fun. I don't want to give too much away, but was kind of Becca had thrown out, I need your help figuring this out. I was picking up stuff the other day, actually when I recorded my live for our episode, and to promote this episode. and I came up with it on the spot, kind of working together with her. So and then I did the one take for the drink, I did the one take for the live. It was awesome.
Yeah, you nailed it. Like we have been trying to dial that recipe down. I'm like, we just can't get it. And I'm like, Nick, you need to try this and do something with it. And you
nailed it first try.
Nailed it first try.
So we have a certified. What was it, second?
It was a second try.
Oh, all right.
We had to tweak it a little bit.
Sorry, can't give you full props there, certified bartender.
That's it. Nope, you lose.
Nope, sorry, you lost. Nothing like that.
Now, before there was a comment that I didn't want to mention that Darren, I kind of, he said he didn't like the orange chocolate with the bourbon. Did you guys pull that one up before?
Yeah, I pulled that one. I thought he said he liked it.
But then he said with the bourbon, it was delicious.
Yeah,
so
he didn't like it initially by itself, but with the bourbon, he found it awesome.
And that was a lot. That was a lot of stuff when it comes to these chocolates. And again, I didn't get much out of this salted caramel corn. It's a delicious pairing as like a, you need a little, you get a little munchies, you need a little snack when you're drinking, go ahead. But the chocolates I felt like actually helped with the flavor of the bourbons, not breaking it down per se, but like just bringing different flavor profiles to life. So I did appreciate that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, you think about a scent and you can find that scent in the bourbon when we were doing, but you have that flavor, that something in front of you to taste. It can completely change the taste of the bourbon.
Mm-hmm. You ready? You guys still have your cask strength, right?
Yeah.
Smell it. It smells like maple syrup.
Maple syrup.
Yeah, it's got that maple odor to it. Yeah.
And I think it's because we've been trying so many different things and different whatever. And now it's like, now that it's sat and it's had time to mature, I'm getting a huge maple syrup right on the nose.
Wow. Huh. All right.
That was good stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So I think everyone is ready for our giveaway. So let's pull up the
giveaways.
All right, folks, listen. I want everyone to look at the names here. Can you scroll to the top and go through?
At the top.
Make sure everyone's name, that if you're still here, you're on there. Please mention now in the comments. If you are not, can you?
I'm gonna. Do you want me to read them
or just scroll down?
Okay. That's it.
All right. So we have how many names do we have?
I don't know. I didn't count them.
Oh, good of you.
I'm not Sadie. This is my first rodeo.
Oh man.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 names.
All right. So we got 19 names in the drawing here for the cask strength. We're going to do one spin. The first spin is going to be.
Did anybody not see their name?
Did anyone not see their name? Tell us now. I don't want to. I think we got everybody this week. We did it pretty good. So we're going to give it a minute. Please tell us if you have not seen your name or it was supposed to be on. We'll go back to the top
and scroll down. I'll do it a little bit slower so you can read through.
Read through.
1, 2. Is that too slow?
That's fine.
There you go.
All right. That's everyone's names. That's what we got there, folks. So please speak now, forever hold your peace, because we're going to do this spin. So this is going to be the first spin.
For the cast.
I have a question, sir. More of a comment. For my friends like Darren and such who have been doing the Makers 46 with the pairings of the food, I thought that the salt, I'm actually going through it for you right now, going backwards, trying to help you out a little bit, telling you what I'm getting from each thing. Before he spins, I'll follow up afterwards. The caramel popcorn, you're obviously still getting the caramel. But I'm finding that the caramel popcorn is bringing out a lot of like a sea salt flavor in the bourbon itself, which is interesting. And it's not like the sea salt chocolate like I would have thought. The cocoa, I was still just getting the chocolate. Like I think it's helping depict that cocoa I actually depicted before we even went into the food. And that's my latest update. So take it away, spin away, and I'm rooting for everyone on the show.
What did he say? If I don't win this, please click the ad on the left for me.
All right.
Here comes the first spin for the cask strength. Makers Mark 375 milliliters. And the winner will be. on, Bubba Lane. All right, Bubba.
All right, do I just close it?
Yeah, you can remove that.
I remove it.
Yep.
I don't know.
He's removed now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh, that's all right. He already won. He can't win again.
All
So.
right, here we go.
Here he goes for runner-up.
Here we go. This is for the little ones.
These are for the little. These are for the drawings. For the
Anyway.
Eric Connors.
Woohoo!
Congrats, Eric. All right, buddy.
Is that just one or?
Yeah, there's another one.
Okay.
So one more. We got one
Here
more
we
for the
go.
runner-up. Here it comes.
Here we go. Oh, I should be singing. For more reasons than one.
Come on, Bill.
Bill!
Pitcher. All right. Congratulations.
All right. So we're gonna need some addresses.
The only address I'm going to need is Bill Kitcher.
Okay.
So, Bill, PM me with your address. Let me know either through Facebook, through the group page.
Back to us, right?
Oh, yes. Let me go back. We can drop that out now. We don't need this anymore. There we are. We're back. So, Bill Kitcher, please PM me, private message. Let me know your address where I can reach you either through Facebook or Twitter. So I can get that to you. You're going to get the sample of the 46 and the little mini Makers Mark. That's what you won, sir, with the runner-up. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thanks, everyone, for joining us this evening. That was great.
The comments crack me up.
Oh, what's this? Bubba can't handle a 750. It's not. It's only a 375, so that's why we got him the little mini one. Bubba's smaller, so that's all
Chris
I can
says none of these people are 21. Spin again.
Chris, you're hilarious, dude.
Yeah, Bubba, congratulations. Congratulations to Eric Connors. Congratulations to Bill Kuchner. Guys, again, Bill, PM me. Let me know your address and stuff like that. I will get this out to you. I'll try to get it out tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm off. So tomorrow I'll get to the post office, get this in there. You'll be receiving this. I consider it when I put it in there, it's called maple syrup. So you're going to be getting a maple syrup delivery from Keeping It Neat. That'll be coming soon, but I need to know your address so we can get it to you. So actually, you know what we're going to do? In case someone doesn't contact me, can you please draw one more name?
I can, but he already said he was going to PM you. So
all right. Well, all right.
But I'll do it in case anybody wants to see.
All right,
who
let's see.
Might have won.
Let's see who might have won. Who's not going to win
something.
anything because Bill is going to get in contact
He
with
already
me.
said he was going to PM you.
Congratulations, Tracy Roll, for not winning anything.
No.
If we would have, you would have been it. But I'm sorry. It looks like. Sorry,
Maybe
Tracy.
next time,
Maybe
Tracy.
next time. You know, they just gave that last roll just for the giggles.
If somebody does not give us their address.
Yeah, if someone doesn't give us the address, that'll be it. But I know the other two people's addresses, so it's a small group right now. Can't even imagine if we get up to we get like 50 people in here. You know, good Lord, this will be so hard.
Bill can't wait for his maple syrup.
That's right. If I send it through the post office, it's maple syrup.
That's right.
If I send it through UPS, it is called olive oil.
Olive oil.
So that's my tricks. So, but yeah, I'll get that out to you. Definitely PM me. I'll get that out to you tomorrow. I'll go by the mail, drop that in the mail tomorrow, and get that to you. And thank you so much for watching tonight. Everyone who watched tonight, thank you. Thank you, Nick, for making your amazing mixed drink this evening. That was great. Do you have anything to say to the people, Nick? Other than that,
I do.
Yeah.
I've got for Makers 46 people the sea salt with the Makers. I was getting a little bit of a spice in there, which I don't really understand what that was, or if it was bringing out a peppery note. I couldn't really figure it out, but it was interesting. Again, the sea salt was pretty noticeable and right there, but I was very interested in that. I actually wish I had more time to depict it. I was trying to go fast. If you watched me just stuffing my face for you. The second thing was the orange. Again, similar to Darren, I thought the orange really did a good job masking it. I mean, very similar flavors, friends, to the Cask Strength. Cask Strength was a little bit better, I think, with these flavors, but you weren't far off or far behind us, really, whatever. Yeah. And then last, the chili. You're pretty much getting the same stuff. It's very peppery, very spicy. I actually think it might have worked out in our favor, Derek and Becca, that people who were doing the Makers 46 and then the ones who were able to join us with the Cask Strength for the food, they didn't really miss much. They were pretty much very similar to the same sort of stuff we're getting. I think, like Darren said, there might have been a thing or two that was a little bit different, but overall, this was great. Darren, thank you. That this is better than Grey's Anatomy, and luckily none of us have died yet. So I'll keep you posted on that death and the next doctor. What am I, Mr. Handsome? Can I be Mr. Handsome?
I see. I don't follow Grey's Anatomy, so we don't know what you're talking about.
It's just one of the characters.
All my shows.
How do you not know that? That's like a pop culture thing.
Oh, all right. I'm not very pop culture. I just watch whatever.
And I would just like to say that Tony is my favorite viewer of the
Oh,
evening.
yes. Tony is our favorite
Thank you,
viewer.
Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
My favorite viewer.
Thank you, everyone who watched.
That's a bias.
Joined us. Congratulations to everyone that won this evening. We're getting your stuff out to you. It'll be in the mail tomorrow or hand-delivered very soon. So thank you, everybody.
And congrats to all graduates across the board. And also thank you to people who are protesting respectfully, safely, and peacefully. So
very good. Yes,
we
definitely.
support everyone.
Thank you so much. Thanks to Nick's brother who just got back from the military. Back on leave right now. Is he on leave or is he just posted here now, Nick?
No, he's good. So he's good for a couple of years. And he's a reserve. So and he was inactive. He was active for a while, so he'll be inactive for a little bit. And he might get shipped out in a couple of years, but unless something big happens, he's home for a little bit. So
cool. Well, thank you, AJ, for your service. Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for getting you're home safe. That's all that matters. You know what I mean? So thank you very much. So everyone that came out tonight, thank you, everyone who watched this evening. We appreciate it. We love to have everybody. We love all the comments. We love the interaction with our Facebook group, with all of our watchers from YouTube, maybe from Twitter, wherever you are watching us from. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We love it. Make all your comments down below. Tell us what else you'd like to see. Less Bourbon Babe, probably, more than likely. I think that's one of the comments I saw earlier, but I can't be sure.
This right here says "Keeping It Neat with Becca."
I can't see any of that because it's too blurry. It's all in the background. I just see.
I can't read it.
You're both out.
Oh, you kicked us both out. So next week it may just be Becca. It may not even be me or Nick.
Sadie.
Oh yeah, just be her and Sadie next week. But thank you everyone for watching this evening. And here's hoping I got to find a glass that has.
Wait, I'm taking you out. Here's hoping that you find a little bit of luxury. Go ahead, guys.
In another
ordinary. Otherwise, ordinary life. You can't do this. You can't come in and throw off.
Don't throw us off. We have a ritual for a reason because we know we'll mess up.
Down. I speak. Nick responds.
Oh man. All right, go ahead.
Good Lord. All right, everybody.
See you later, folks.
Here's hoping that you all find a little bit of luxury
in an otherwise ordinary life.
That's the way it's supposed to be. You screwed it all up. Yay! Thanks, everyone. Remember, watch us next week. We'll be back.